Thank you, everyone, for attending the news conference. I'm Lieutenant Kelly Lenhart, the Public Information Officer for Toledo Police Department. Today, Chief Kral and Eunice Dia, Anthony Dia's father, will be addressing everyone here and all those watching at home. Eunice is joined by his wife, Jihan Dia, Anthony Dia's stepmother. There are informational packets available in the back for you to take with you. Please hold all questions until the end of the news conference. We do want to warn you that we will be playing Officer Dia's last radio transmission, which some viewers may find disturbing. We will let you know before that's played. Chief.
Again, thanks everybody for being here. To say it's been a challenging weekend would be an understatement. Much that you're going to hear this morning or this afternoon is similar to what we spoke about Saturday morning, but we have a little bit more detail on the suspect and a little bit more visual aids for you that we will get everyone a copy of. Before we get started on the details, I want to talk about the hero, Anthony Dia, 26-year-old male. He would have been with TPD 2 years in 13 days. He was the 31st Toledo police officer to be killed in the line of duty. He leaves behind his wife, Jamie, and their 2 children, Eunice and Matham. We'll go ahead and start. We wanted to do this in a chronological order, so it kind of made more sense. So we're going to start with the initial 911 call. It's a little bit loud, so bear with us.
And 911, what is your emergency?
I'm at Home Depot on a Lexus, and there's a man that's trying to get home, and he's heavily intoxicated.
Okay, you said Home Depot on a Lexus. What kind of vehicle is he in?
It's silver.
You
It's not starting up for him either.
Can you see the plate number?
Yeah, it's H as in hotel, F as in foxtrot, K as in kilo, 5278. It's a silver Mercury.
Silver Mercury, is it a car or SUV?
It's a sedan, and he's got a beer can on top, and he's opened like 3 beers since I first encountered him.
Okay. Can you give me a description of the driver, the male?
She's a older white male, a little bit of a heavier body type. He's wearing a white shirt, and he's standing next to a car talking to some guys.
Okay, and you said his vehicle won't start?
No, it's not starting at all.
Okay, what is your
I'm
name?
going to for jumper cables. My name's Caitlin Gregory.
You said he's asking them for jumper cables?
Yes, sir.
What kind of vehicle do they have?
He's asking everybody that's here.
Okay, what's your phone number? And where is he at in the parking lot?
He's about the middle of the parking lot, closer to the building itself.
Okay, I have officers notified. We'll get a crew there.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay, the next thing, and I apologize for turning my back to you, but this is the Home Depot. We're looking north on Lewis. Shooting happened right about the northwest corner, and this is the creek and the wooded area where the suspect fled and subsequently killed himself. Again, I'm not going to regurgitate all this information, but at 11 minutes after 12 is when the initial 911 call came in. About 10 minutes later, Officer Dia arrived in response to the call. He immediately found the suspect's vehicle and positioned his police cruiser directly behind it. Officer Dia then encountered the male, later identified as Edward Henry. Henry began walking away from the officer, and Officer Dia had to run after him a little bit to try to catch up to him. At one point, he lost sight of him. There's a large display of flowers in that parking lot, and he briefly lost sight of the suspect. He found him again, and again the suspect refused to stop and listen to his commands. As Officer Dia began to close the distance, The suspect, Henry, turned and fired a handgun. The bullet from the handgun struck Officer Dia close to his armpit. Officer Dia quickly returned fire and discharged multiple rounds from his department-issued firearm. Literally, within 30 seconds, I would say, backup officers responded to the scene. These next 3 officers are heroes in their own account. Officers Cole DeCant, Jeff McClendon, and Tyler Gaurich assisted Officer Dia by putting him in a police vehicle, starting basic CPR, and getting him to the hospital as quickly as humanly possible. Sadly, after a short time at the Toledo Hospital, Officer Dia was pronounced deceased. Additional officers started a perimeter. I want to stop for a second and give a shout out of thanks to the Northwood Police Department, who got their drone up in the air to help us out, and we also had a K-9 unit on scene for tracking purposes. During the search, officers heard a single gunshot coming from the wooded area. After a systematic search, Henry was found at approximately 3:15 a.m. with an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound to his head. The weapon was a .22 caliber revolver. With the assistance of the Toledo Fire Department, Henry's body was recovered from the base of Shanty Creek, where I showed you on the picture. A dog that was with Henry at the time was recovered and turned over to the dog warden unharmed. Several witnesses were transported down here to the safety building and interviewed, and they positively identified Henry as the person who shot Officer Dia. I know everybody's going to be asking for the body-worn camera footage. The Ohio Sunshine Law offers several exemptions where we don't have to release that body-worn camera footage. And one of those exemptions says we do not have to release that footage that shows the death of a peace officer or first responder that occurs when the decedent was performing his official duties. Now we'll move on to the suspect. Edward Henry, date of birth of June 27th, 1963. You'll see he has a pretty lengthy criminal history. You'll see the charges along with the date that he was arrested. There are 9 criminal and numerous traffic violations in his criminal history. At the time that he murdered Officer Dia, he had 3 open warrants, one for disorderly conduct while intoxicated, public indecency, and menacing, and that all came from the same incident. Now I would like to have Eunice Dia, Anthony's dad, come up and will address the media and the public.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for all the support and love, and all over Facebook, all over social media, all the police officers, women, men, all the support I've seen from them for Anthony. It's been overwhelming. It's helped a lot. It's helped us deal with it a lot. I have my moments. We all have our moments. All the officers that know him have their moments. But the city, Toledo Police, they've been very, very supportive. I couldn't ask for any other department that this was going to happen. I would want it to be TPD. My son died a hero. And if he was ever given a choice, hey, do you want to die in bed, sick? Do you want to die in a car accident? Or do you want to die like this, a martyr? Anthony would choose this box, 100%. He wouldn't want to go out any other way. Jamie also wanted me to let everybody know, thank you for all the overwhelming, the love, the support, everything. She just wanted me to thank everybody. Facebook, TPD, city, media, everybody and anybody. Thank you so much. I don't want my son's death. I don't want him to die in vain. We want to try to, I want to keep moving forward. I'm the type of person, I would have never thought in a million years that I would have be having a pro-police rally a couple days before my son was killed. So I guess God maybe pushed me to do that, because like I said, I would never organize anything like that. And, you know, we support Toledo police groups up to probably almost 3,000 members. So we're going to keep pushing, you know, against defunding, which is so stupid, it makes no sense, defunding police. I mean, I just can't comprehend that in my mind. So we're going to keep pushing. If we got to take it all the way to the White House to get federal money, we will, whatever we got to do. Chief Kral's doing a fabulous job. Everybody here does a great job. Politics should stay out of policing. City council, mayor, with all due respect to all of them, know nothing about policing. They should stay out of policing and let the policing be done by the department that know what they're doing. They have the years of experience. Let's not tie their hands with politics because we're worried about votes. All that's going to do is all these officers out here walking on eggshells now because of this, and we're going to end up losing, God forbid, more officers. You know, there's somebody's children, there's somebody's husband, wife, there's somebody's father, mother. So we don't want another death in any department, in any country, any world, anywhere. So I'm going to work on, try to get help. I don't know, I'm not a politician, to figure out a way, somehow, some way, to make sure politics stays out of policing, because police officers are human beings. They're not robots. They get stressed out. They make mistakes. But you know what? They come in contact with hundreds of thousands of people a year. And to crucify them over one or two mistakes is wrong. You can have a perfect system, a perfect department, a perfect academy, a perfect chief, a perfect everything. We can't control human beings and their actions. So if one guy or one girl makes a mistake, we can't crucify the entire department or entire policing for that. Again, they're humans. They're not robots. Let's stop with the politics. Let's stop worrying about our votes. If you're in it for votes or for the money, you're in it for the wrong reason. Get out of office. You need to be in it for the right reason, you know, and do the right things. You know, my son went to help this man. He wanted to check on him. I even heard that he asked him, hey, do you need an ambulance? I don't know if my son was walking on eggshells that night because of everything that's going on. But he probably was, because me and him talked all the time. He's like, you know, Dad, I'm afraid to do this or do that. You know, I told him, don't be. Do your job, make sure you do it correctly. Don't walk on eggshells, because you're risking your life by doing that. Come home to your family. But unfortunately, that day, he didn't come home to his family. Last night, I went for the first time to the memorial at Home Depot, and it was overwhelming. It was beautiful. I didn't have the heart to do it at first, but I'm glad I went, and I'm glad I saw it. And again, I just want to thank everybody in TPD, everybody in the city of Toledo. Thank you for all the overwhelming love and support. We appreciate you all. And God bless you all. May God protect all your children, all your husbands, your wives. Let's work to figure something out, get politics out of policing.
Thank you. All right. Okay. Lieutenant Lenhart mentioned earlier that we're going to play Officer Diaz's final broadcast. I'm not going to lie, it's gut-wrenching, so if you want to turn off your line. Absolutely, absolutely. Do you want to start? Okay. Okay, again, it's gut-wrenching. I don't know if you want to stop your live streams or not, but this was it.
Airstall 120-21-28, call 3, 1035 West Lexus at Home Depot. 118, tell this my family alone. I can't copy. 118, tell my family alone.
Yeah.
We got crews coming. I'm getting medical.
The autopsy is not complete yet on the suspect. Normally, we like to show you a picture of the weapon. We're not going to do that until the autopsy is complete. I'm hoping that'll be within a few days. So I don't have a whole lot of more answers for you, but if you have any questions or you want to do one-on-ones, we can do that.
No one-on-one, sir.
Okay. I was just told by my lieutenant no one-on-one, so is there any questions?
Chief, one thing the viewers have a question on, was the officer wearing a vest?
Yes.
Okay.
It was, the round went into a part where there was no coverage, sadly. There, you know, they go over your head and they wrap around, and there's a little bit of vulnerability in the underarm area, and that's where the round hit.
And do you know how many shots Officer Dia fired?
I don't have that information now. That will be released once we get done with the the coroner's investigation. We'll have all that information out. I know it was numerous rounds. I just don't have the correct number. And I'd like to take 1 second to reach out to the Toledo Hospital's emergency department. Their doctors, nurses, and staff were incredible. The security escorted us around the entire night. It was a surreal night for all of us, and they were consummate professionals, and we appreciate them more than we can say.
I forgot to mention that he worked with a lot of them.
Yes.
He loved a lot of them
Yeah.
over there.
He used to work there as their campus security.
Chief, why was an officer be accompanied by another officer when he responded?
There's several areas in the city that are one-man car areas, and we've had that. I've been here for 30 years. We've had one-man car for 30 years. It's the more non-inner city areas, but we have a policy that when we send a one-man crew, especially like that, we send two, and literally, and I'm not exaggerating, within 30 seconds, the cavalry was there. Since this incident, I have suspended one-man cars for a while. I mean, obviously, it can't be forever, but we're looking at ways that we can try to make sure our officers remain safe.
Do you believe Officer Dia ever struck the suspect with any of his shots?
We'll find that out when the coroner's report is back.
And is it believed that the suspect only fired one time?
That's what we believe, yes, one round, and the one that he committed suicide with.
Was there an indication when the officer responded that this was a suicide by cop situation, that this individual?
No. This was presumably just a drunk guy walking around, and as Dad said here, he was just trying to help the guy out, make sure he didn't hurt himself or others, and just get him home in one piece.
Where did the suspect come from? Where was he earlier in the night? What got him to a Home Depot drinking beers?
That's a good question. I spoke with the investigators, and we don't know if he was drunk and just pulled in the lot and his car stalled and he was just trying to find a way to get a jump to get back home. We don't know anything prior to what happened in the Home Depot lot.
Can you talk about the other people that were in that lot? Was there a mass gathering?
It was a group, some in large lots in the city of Toledo. Sometimes car enthusiasts will go there, and you know they'll show each other their cars, they'll rev their engines, they'll do what they have to do. I think he just showed up there because he saw people, and he wasn't involved with that group whatsoever. They called the police on him, so he wasn't involved with that group.
Is this somebody that would have been on your radar? Is this someone that officers say, hey, this name rings a bell, the suspect?
No. I mean, he had some minor warrants out for his arrest, but it's not like he was, you know, one of our prolific offenders, no.
Did I hear you say correctly, because the autopsy is not finished, that you're unable to talk about if there's, you know, information on the weapon, if it was obtained lawfully by this suspect?
We'll be able to, we'll get all that information for you if it was stolen or any of that information once we get done with the coroner's investigation.
Are there any other policy changes aside from taking the one-man crew off right now that?
No, he did everything perfectly. He positioned his vehicle in a tactical position. He approached the suspect in the correct manner, and the tragedy happened anyway.
Does he have any family?
I know he has an older mother. As for spouses or children, I don't know.
I ask you personally, Chief, you obviously are worried about people that have long criminal histories, people with lots of firearms. This suspect doesn't seem to kind of fit any of that. Does it surprise you that somebody like this would get into something like this?
Nothing surprises me anymore. That's inherent in police work, that we don't know what we're walking into. You know, if we're going into a after-hours bar fight, we know what we're going into. If we go to a domestic, we have an idea what we're walking into. That's it with police work. It's inherently we don't know. That's why we train the way we do, and we train the way, we play the way we train. And we make sure that we try to do the best practices. We try to make sure that we're safe all the time. But there's no such thing as a routine call. And any officer who believes that, I really hope that they heard what I just said. There's no such thing as a routine call. And sadly, and I've done it myself, we get complacent sometimes. And sadly, when an officer pays the ultimate sacrifice, as Anthony did, that kind of shakes us back into reality. Okay? All right.
For tomorrow, do you have a route yet of
We,
where-
no, do we?
We're waiting from traffic commander.
Right. We're going to get everything out before close of business today on the route, the venues, times, the whole 9 yards.
Are you encouraging the public to do anything tomorrow, be along the route or anything like that?
I would love to see the entire processional route out there with people waving American flags, saluting, and paying the respect to this man. He died protecting Toledo, and he deserves this.
Chief, do you know, are you guys looking into possibly more effective body armor since you got hit in an area that is not covered?
Sadly, there's no such thing as the perfect body armor. There's vulnerabilities around the neck area, there's vulnerabilities around the arm areas, and this goes to show you, this man fired one round, and he hit it in the one or two places where that body armor was vulnerable. We go to great measures to make sure that we have the best body armor. We far exceed what most other departments do. We have a level 3A body armor that is the best money can buy, and unfortunately, nothing is foolproof.
We've talked about the accuracy of a shot and how, when we talked about officer and shootings before, the opposite way, how difficult it is to, pinpoint a specific location. I guess speak to that one shot in that specific location on.
It was dumb luck. It was dumb luck. From what we understand, he was literally running away and did something like this. I can't explain it, and that's what frustrates me. It just happened that way.
Did you go to the suspect's house? Did anything indicate to you that he's anti-police, part of any movement or anything like that?
I know we have, but I don't have that answer for you. I haven't spoke with the sergeant who's in charge of the investigation, so I will find that out. I think they would have told me if there was all kinds of anti-police rhetoric or posters in his home, so I would assume not, but you know what happens when I assume.
Tony, may I ask you a question, sir? You were out here, earlier this week, supporting officers, and now you're here. What has that whirlwind been like for you, 96 hours?
I asked myself, wow. At first, when I got the frantic call from Jamie, I thought Anthony was involved in the car accident on Dorr Street. So I'm rushing to the hospital. When I got there is when I was told he was shot. I just think it's God's plan. Like I said, for me to organize a rally, I'm lazy. I mean, I'm not, not lazy, but I think Anthony has a bigger purpose for law enforcement all across the country. All this hate, all this anti-police stuff, I think this is God telling everyone, hey man, whoa, you know what I mean? It's getting out of control. For me to do the rally and then for 2 or 3 days later for my son to be killed, that's a good boy that loves everybody, not a racist bone in his body, respectful to everybody. I was even told, I haven't heard it, you guys heard it, that I believe he even told the dispatcher as he's dying, thank you, when he told her to tell my family I love them. I don't know if that's true or not. I think this is going to be bigger and better things for law enforcement because of this.
If you could say something to him right now, what would it be?
I love him, I'm proud of him, and I'm proud that he died defending his city. I wouldn't want it no other way for my son. And I told the chief he'll probably be retired. I have 2 more boys. that are ready to serve. One's 7, he wants to be a police officer, the other one's 2. But, you know, if we don't do it, if we don't offer our boys and girls, who will? I mean, what would this city be or this country be without police officers? That's what that thin blue line is. It'd be absolute chaos. It'd be like the movie Purge. I mean, come on, we need to wake up and realize that and show them the respect that they deserve. They're not perfect, they're only human.
How are Jamie and the boys doing?
They're okay. They have their moments, but they're okay. Thanks, Chief.
Okay, everybody, I think that pretty much sums it up. We will, we'll get you all the information we can regarding tomorrow as quickly as we can, and as soon as the investigation wraps up, we'll get you whatever else you ask for. Thank you for being here, and again, I just ask, show the family the respect that they deserve and the privacy while they grieve and get through this horrible time.